Hey everyone, last part to my top 30 best characters or skins in Heroes. This is my top 10. At this point, all of these characters are good and can end each other easily. This is just more of a personal choice based off my experience playing. Let's start. Tenong. Cost 1.4k. Shared slot with Sifa and Mariah. Sorry for the bad clips for him. Had to download my TikTok for clips and it's low quality, but besides on the clips will be normal. But anyways, he's really good. His R and X do a lot of damage, more than Sifa. His F has a shorter cooldown. And he takes no damage in his ult. It has 4 hits and they do a lot of damage. It's also a good option for him to spam. I think he's really good and easy to use. I won't talk about him more since I already talked about Sifa in my other part. So next. 9. Madison. Was a quest, now costs 10 million coins. I think everyone knows Madison is really good and really annoying. Her Z has infinite range. X is an insta-kill with good range. R has great range and can be used while flying. C breaks shields and does a lot of damage. Her X is also not cancelable by other players, but she can take damage when her knife is out. Her shield is also anti-Lauren Skin's bubbles. She's really good and difficult to escape once she attacks you with anything. But I will say her knife is sometimes out-spammable. You just have to be fast. With some characters, it's easier than others. She also isn't the best to escape combos. Her knife would be the best, but you have to click it at the right time and not spam. She has a high bounty, but Madison's don't even have to fight in the middle. You can just summon people from anywhere. She's really good and annoying. Next. 8. Prom Gwen. Available through sessions or 2.6k Robux. 1 slot. Some people do not like Prom Gwen, but she's honestly great. She doesn't die easily because she has infinite anodite flight, tap shield where she can use FN, another shield, and good health. She has a high bounty, but she really isn't so easily killable. Her flight makes it so a lot of attacks won't work on you, and someone can't camp your shield easily because she can use her F in it. Her ult is an insta-kill under 95 to 99%, and if they have higher health, it'll still take 99% of their health away. It's a good ultimate, but its cooldown isn't so short, so she's not the fastest to get kills with. She still has her R bubble, but they can kill you in your own shield, and if you aren't in your shield, someone else will probably end you if they see you on the ground. Her R bubble also works faster than other Lauren skins, so it isn't the easiest to escape. She's great for 1v1s. Her F and ult or flight bolt and ult will end anyone. She's really good in my opinion, just a bit boring. Next. 7. Atomic Eve Y Decay Eve. Atomic is really good because her cooldowns are short. Her C has great range and is an insta-kill. Her F does good damage and can be used while flying. Her R bubble is good, her health is high, and her bolts do a lot of damage. Her combos could be F and C, C and R, C and C, or sometimes just R. She is also probably the least targeted person in my top 10. Her bounty is standard and she doesn't have huge AoE attacks. She's great to get coins with. The bad thing would be she's not the best to get out of combos. But from my experience, it is doable if you press her C well. Next. 6. Sdeath. It was difficult to rank her and Childe because both of them are only this high because of one ability, if we're being honest. Yeah, her other abilities really aren't bad at all, but they're not that great either. Her F can't be used that well in a combo. Her R is good only if you're near your opponent. Z isn't always the easiest to use, and her ult isn't great for combos. But the main thing I don't like about her is the no flight. Her not being able to fly makes her a target if you're using her in the center. A lot of people have Sdeath, but think about how often you actually see them fighting with everyone else. Most of the time they are off to the side just throwing that massive ice ball at everyone. It's great to get coins with. It does a lot of damage, great range, and a short cooldown. But it doesn't actually end everyone, and if you are in the center with everyone, people can just shield or fly away. Her health is great. Her Z heals her. Her shield is good. Bolts are good. Double jump is okay. Overall, she's good, but is mostly being carried by one ability. She's also a bit targeted, I think, because people are annoyed by her and her ultimate. Next, 5. Childe.
I have all the Chaos Lords in my corner.
And available for purchase, 1 slot. Had difficult time ranking her. Childe is mostly good for one ability, Confractus. It's an 100% group insta-kill that breaks through shields. It has a long cooldown though, 60 seconds. However, I think it's not that hard for Childe to survive 60 seconds. Her health is really high, her teleport is great to escape, she can heal, and she has some good spam options. But it's not the easiest to get kills in those 60 seconds. She still has her Z insta-kill, but it's out-spammable if it's not the first ability you use on someone. Her other abilities have a pretty long cooldown and don't do a ton of damage. She is also targeted for her bounty. Her bolts are also weak. But her Confractus is the easiest thing to end people with since it's just a one-tap 100% insta-kill ability.
I have all the Chaos Lords in my corner.
Her high health really does let her survive a lot of attacks and combos. But if it weren't for Confractus, she wouldn't even be on the list. Like all Zatanna skins, her RNC have small range, and Suffocate isn't great. But at least they have shorter cooldowns. Well, besides base Zatanna. Wasn't sure about having her or Prom Zatanna this high. 4. Prom Zatanna. Available through sessions. Both Childe and Prom Zatanna are targeted. But she can really defend herself. RX, C, Tel OG, Shield, and even Additive can help her escape combos. She and all Zet skins are great to outspam with, and her damage is really high. She can end people with 600 health with our Tel OG. Her C is good enough and buffs her. Her bolts do a lot of damage, she can heal herself, and has a 100% insta-kill with Z. And it might not seem like a lot, but honestly her flight shield is really useful, especially for someone like her who is targeted. I think she doesn't die every 2 seconds, mostly because of her flight shield. Her range for combos is limited, but once she grabs you, you're most likely dead. Next, 3. Dark Josie. Sometimes goes on sale for coins, 1 slot shared with Bonnie. Not sure if it's an unpopular opinion to have her this high, but I really like her and think she's really good. Her health is really high and she has resurrection. Her shield is great and damages anyone stepping on it. She has a spell that heals her a bit. She is really good for groups of people and can get you lots of coins. Her R, C, and for spells work on groups of people. She has 3 insta-kills, her C, Flame Spell, and Soul Absorption Spell. Even without her insta-kills, most of her abilities just do a lot of damage. And she is really great to outspam with. Her Z, Lightning, Fire, and 1 other spell can help her escape combos. And when she collects enough souls, she gets a new ability that breaks shields and stops people from using abilities for a bit. And pretty much all her abilities and spells have great range. She has a lot of options to end people and all her abilities are good, so she doesn't really have to worry about cooldowns. Her bolts also do a lot of damage. She is probably the second least targeted person on my list. Her bounty is standard. I guess the bad thing is her expression spells run out after some time and she has to wait a while to use them again. But even without her expression spells, she is still good. Another thing is sometimes her art doesn't slow down people and she is vulnerable while using it. But I still use the ability a lot. She's fun and great. Next. Number 2 spot is tied cause Golden Ruler Sabrina came out after I started my list. But number 2, Prom Sabrina and Golden Ruler. Both are their own slide. I'll talk about Prom Sabrina first. Prom Sabrina's ult is a 100% insta-kill, but its range isn't as big as base Sabrina's ult. But it's still good. Her art can be used while flying, her damage is high, shield isn't top but good health, and her health is good. But her bolts are weak. She's overall really good, just not a personal favorite. She's not the best to get out of combos. It depends though because sometimes her art really does help her but it also doesn't have a short cooldown. Now Golden Sabrina. Personally, I like Golden Ruler more and think she's better. Her art has a really short cooldown and can also be used while flying. Her ult can be used while flying and is an insta-kill under 80%. She also has another insta-kill with her flight bolts, insta-kill under 70%. Her other abilities do a lot of damage too. Her bolts are great and her health is really high. She doesn't need to leave her flight to end anyone or groups of people. The downside is she's probably going to be targeted for her bounty. But she can at least defend herself well. Now on to my number 1. 1. Y2K Madison. 1 slot. Y2K Madison is so good, her cooldowns are short and all her attacks do a lot of damage. Even her basic attack is really up. Her range is really good, shield is great, and she can use R and X while flying. And while having X out a lot of attacks won't work on her. And it only has a 4-second cooldown and is a high insta-kill. Her art does so much, her ult to and it breaks shields. She can two-shot anyone with basically like any 2 abilities. Her health is also really high. There's really not a whole lot you can do to her, she's really up. Anyways, that's it for my list. See you in my next video, bye!